Though we have all traveled many uncertain roads, we have always recognized something wasn't right. We searched high and low, yet our paths had never intersected. Our desire to seek truth, then to speak true, has brought us all together. That thing of ours is rooted in truth, because truth is the only unshakable foundation. In the greatest book, it states in John 8:32, "For ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free."
Truth is a powerful force. It is the foundation on which all great achievements are built, and the bedrock of trust and respect in any relationship. When we are rooted in truth, we can be confident that our decisions and actions are grounded in reality rather than in speculation or wishful thinking.
The pursuit of truth is not always easy. It requires courage, perseverance, and a willingness to face uncomfortable facts. But in the end, the truth is always worth it. It allows us to make better decisions, to build stronger relationships, and to create a more just and equitable world.
From politics and world events to entertainment and pop culture, we've got you covered. We'll explore our history and the stories that matter to uncover the truth that lies at the heart of each one. With our fingers on the pulse of the news cycle, we'll provide the insights and analysis you need to stay informed and engaged. As we stay rooted in truth and let the truth guide us in all that we do, let us be willing to listen, to learn, and seek out the facts, even when they challenge our own assumption or belief.
Let us never forget that the pursuit of truth is not just an individual endeavor, but a collective one. Only by working together
With honesty and integrity,
can we build a better future for ourselves
And for generations to come.
This
is That Thing of Ours.
How's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining us today on this Tuesday, 5th of November, 2024. Remember, the 5th of November. Anyways, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, and Pill.net.
and if you haven't already, please take a minute and give us that virtual hug. If you're over on Rumble or YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're over on pill.net, take that red pill. And if you're over on X, smash that heart. And if you happen to be on Facebook, you have like 7 choices.
I thought it was 8.
7.
7?
Yeah, we counted
Did they
them.
change it on us?
No.
No?
We
Okay.
counted them.
Anyways, clickety. Make sure you click all the buttons. Thank you very much. It truly helps us out in the algorithm and gets us kind of pushed out there. And it's going to be a wild night tonight, folks. Apparently, there's something big going on
Yes.
that may have the future of humanity, in its hands tonight.
Yeah. So, F. Clint in the house.
Yo, what's up, F. Clint?
Got Aaron in the house.
What's up, Aaron?
Got Miss Jenny in the house.
Jenny!
Watch out for the frogs, Jenny.
Watch out for the frogs, Jenny.
Got Mike in the house.
Hey, Mike, what's going on?
I will rejoice and be glad in it as
I will
well,
rejoice
sir.
and be glad in it as well. Amen.
Carol,
Carol,
be
how's
safe
it going,
heading
Carol?
home.
Yep, be safe. Keep your eyes on the road.
Yes.
And then,
Got Miss Shauna in the house.
hey, Shauna, thanks for joining. Hey.
She did
I voted
vote.
today. Yes, you better have voted
Yay.
today. I'm glad. I hope everybody got out to vote.
Yes.
Already got your vote cast. Otherwise, you shouldn't be here right now.
Yes. You should be
And then
voting.
we'll probably get Graham Jam back here, or Graham
Yeah.
Jan here back shortly,
Yeah.
since she's been doing all the poll watching.
Exactly.
She's been busy. Hey, little lunker.
Hello and happy election night.
Happy election night. It's going to be a crazy one.
It is.
And we're pretty sure it's going to be a little while. The Democrats have already been talking about it. It's going to be a red mirage until they keep counting, and then it's going to be a surprise blue victory in some places. Maybe we'll see what really happens.
We got Steph in
Steph.
the house.
Yes, praying for a happy deliverance night. Yes, us as well. I'm the passenger. Carol is driving. She gets to interact. All right,
There
good
you
deal.
go. There you go. Aaron said he voted
Hey,
10
Carol.
days ago because Trump said to, and I've always voted on election day and once with the flu before they changed the name to the vid.
To the vid.
Yeah, so hold on a second.
And then the polls are open till 9 p.m. tonight in New York. Woo.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, got to count those votes. But at least they give people that opportunity. That's a
Yeah.
good thing.
I have Sky News, so we're gonna look at that real
Whether there
quick.
is a swing in either direction.
If some of the, I mean, Virginia's just over the river here. I mean, it's a huge state. It's got some suburban parts of Washington D.C. They're not, of course, because they're over the river. But Washington D.C. is spread out. Urban parts there that are usually Democratic, and then you go right the way down to the border with, where is it, North Carolina, I think, and the Shenandoah Mountain Range. These are very Trumpy parts of the world where Donald Trump can expect, obviously, to do very well. The question is how much he's been able to eat into the suburban parts, and that will give us a clue of how he might be doing elsewhere.
We looked at South Carolina was just up there. The graphic from South Carolina was just there, and 9 votes are reliably red. So let's have a look. Look, it's very early days, but this is the race to 270, which we can have a look at.
There.
All right, there we go. Go ahead. Polls closed in Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, South Carolina, Virginia, and Vermont.
So far, he's got 19. She's got 3.
No, they just upped that up. So, yes, so far, President Trump has 19 electoral votes assigned to him, and Kamala, oh, he already took Kentucky. Yeah, I heard that Kentucky was pretty much done deal already.
Chachi!
Hey, Chachi, what's going on? Hope
Yeah.
everything's going good. Yeah, so
There we go.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, 11 electoral votes for Indiana, strong Republican state. Only Obama back in 2008, I think, has won that. Otherwise, pretty solidly.
Iowa
red.
and Kentucky
And,
called for
So
Trump.
we've got some results.
Yeah, there's going to be some results coming out all night. They're probably going to be
And Lewis is
they're probably going to be kind of all over the place. So they have different times for each state. Why don't they make it the same? Yeah, that's
They just don't.
With 3, we're starting
Yeah.
to
Here, why don't we
just
pop
three
off of
of the
this?
states in so far started to
Or is he
colour in
giving
the
us?
map.
He's giving us
He's
a
giving us
rundown.
updates.
Indiana there, the Hoosier state's just been
And-
declared for Donald Trump.
Hey,
Interestingly,
Ange.
we're looking, obviously, there was no question whatsoever that Donald Trump is going to win this race. As you say, Mark, Barack Obama carried it in 2008 narrowly, but it has been trending very Republican ever since then. But it is interesting, and we can't read too much into it. It's got to be heavily caveated. But we can see when we start to look at some of the county data, actually in county after county, Donald Trump is underperforming his performance in 2020. So we've got 66% of the vote in Huntington County, just outside Fort Wayne. You can see there, Donald Trump got 73.7% of the vote in 2020, 72% now. Let's go look around more places around Fort Wayne. Again, same thing in Whitley County, 73% versus 71. Fort Wayne itself in Allen County, 45% of the vote in, 54 versus 51. We've also got Hamilton County, which is down here, which is a wealthy suburb, effectively, of Indianapolis, which is a very Democratic area. It's definitely trending Democratic, but we can see that Kamala Harris, this is a county that Donald Trump won back in 2020, 52 versus 45 with Biden. Harris is winning with nearly 50% of the vote versus 48.6.
Hey, Hope.
Obviously, got to be caveated because there's still only 58% of the vote
Bethany
in.
Ann.
And Indiana is not going to be
Bethany
contested. It's already
Ann.
been called, but it could indicate that perhaps if Donald Trump is underperforming with some of his more traditional voters, white voters, more rural voters, and so on, that could bode well for the vice president. But of course, it's very, very early days indeed. We've also had Kentucky called as well. There's no question again in the bluegrass state of any Democrat winning this. Bill Clinton was the last one to do so in 1996, but we can see there so far 9% of the vote in. Donald Trump way, way ahead. It does occasionally elect Democrats to statewide office. Kentucky, there's a rather conservative Democrat governor there at the moment, but generally speaking, it is very conservative. So we know in Vermont as well. I mean, literally barely any votes on the board, I think, at all in Vermont, but we already know that it's definitely going to vote for Kamala Harris.
Yeah,
The
it's going to
Bernie
go for
Sanders,
Kamala.
Of course, has one of the Senate seats there. But of course, we're all really, really waiting for what's going to happen in Georgia. This is the absolutely glittering prize that awaits either Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. And we have been saying, haven't we? We have been saying all throughout exactly what Kamala Harris needs to do, which is try and replicate what Joe Biden did back in 2020, which is try her best to run up massive margins all around Atlanta, all around Savannah, the big urban centers. Donald Trump, meanwhile, of course, has to try and start to do better. And this will be a really tantalizing glimpse when we start to get those results in from Atlanta. A big narrative of this campaign has been, can Kamala Harris actually command the same level of African-American black voter support that Joe Biden was able to do and that Barack Obama was able to do, and potentially even expand upon it as well. Lots of conversation and lots of talk about her being somewhat more frail, somewhat weaker, with black men in particular. When we start to get the sort of results in from places like Fulton County there, with the home of Atlanta itself, places like Cobb County and so on, we will start to be able to piece together an answer.
All right, I think we're going to go ahead and start looking at like some different stuff, because he's just kind of going on and on about what was, and we're not going to get a whole lot of results so early in the evening, but it's definitely going to be rolling
gonna
in
keep
throughout the
checking
night.
it.
Yeah.
So, can you read that, please?
The 2 states that get us results on election night.
Ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Let's go back to 20 real quick. Virginia and New Hampshire. So on election night, Virginia and New Hampshire are expected to have results relatively early, as they generally do. And this, prior to like a couple of weeks ago, neither state was really in play. There were some grumblings, but for the most part, until polls started showing that Trump really had a legitimate chance of winning those, I don't think anybody was seeing that. We were looking, oh, it's all the battleground states. Well, if Trump wins these battleground states, I mean, I did it myself. But now that those 2 states are in play, this is important because it will set the tone for the rest of election night. It's possible. If Trump wins Virginia and New Hampshire, it is possible that we could have a declared winner on election night, which should have always been the case, but for whatever reason, we've changed that in America. We've changed a lot of things just over the last 4 years. But instead of having to wait days, weeks, even months, with Pennsylvania, Arizona, Georgia, and other states taking so long to declare the winner, instead of that, if we can just win Virginia and New Hampshire, that'll solve a lot of problems. And I would argue that, yes, those who have their mind set on cheating to steal the election, they will wisely abort their plans on election night, because they will know at that point that they cannot win. If you learn something from...
All right.
Thoughts?
It's an interesting thought that they might abort their plans to try to steal if the election results are so big. And Mike said this while that was playing, and I think that this is an excellent way to, keep our heads in the right spot. He says, don't let the results tonight distract you. God has a plan. Election theft has to be proven. And I think that they have it from the previous election. I don't know. I think that they're going to try. I really think they're going to try. But I think that it's also been cleared out in a lot of places. I have a feeling
it's too big to rig.
I think it's going to be too big to rig as well. But I think I think it's going to be too big to rig to actually win the election. But I think that they're still going to try to rig it in a lot of ways. And I think those people will still end up getting caught. Jenny says, I don't think we'll get the results tonight. Jenny, I don't think we're going to get the results tonight either. I really am thinking like Friday, early or late Thursday, maybe through midday on Friday, just in time for the weekend. And then the shenanigans, everybody will have the free time with which to do the shenanigans that they may try to do. Who knows how it's really going to work out? But that's kind of what I'm seeing as well. And then let's see. Chachi says, I want the cheaters to get caught, exposed, and go to jail. 100%, Chachi. I agree. I think that they do need to be caught, exposed, and justice actually served. I look forward to that. And then Aaron says, I think it's all a cue op to wake up the last of the poor brainwashed, useful idiots. I mean, that could be part of this. Actually, I do believe that that's a lot of part of this. I did hear some reports that in Virginia that people might be lying to the exit pollsters because people don't really want to let on that they're voting for Trump. So they might actually be saying Kamala, when in all actuality, they just voted for Trump. Now, that's just kind of rumor mill kind of stuff. But Virginia, it is a very blue state, but there is a lot of word out there that Virginia might turn. I don't have a whole lot of hope for New Hampshire. But we'll see how it plays out in the end.
There you go.
Jenny says, I've had a really good feeling about today. Nothing brought me down either. Jenny, I could say that I felt the same thing too. It just felt like it was really going to be all right. The people that I know that voted for Kamala, they all believe that Trump is going to win. which in which case they still went out to vote, which I appreciate. I think that everybody needs to get out the vote, and that's important, no matter how you feel. Now, granted, a lot of those people that are voting for or have voted for Kamala, I do believe that their heart's in the right spot, and that they aren't seeing it still. But then again, when there's so much of society that's been asleep for so long, and so asleep that they can't see what's going on, I think that as Trump wins, the truth comes out, people will wake up to the reality.
And that's what I mean too. Mike says too big to rig means they will get caught. And that's exactly what's going to happen.
And I believe that's exactly what's going to happen. I disagree with what he was saying there on that video, where they might not cheat because it looks like they're going to lose. I think that they're going to try no matter what, just because their back's up against the wall. So I don't necessarily agree with that. I think they're still going to try to cheat because it's really, down to the last, whatever, ammunition they got. And cheating is the last bit that they got.
Mm-hmm. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Can you please read that?
The Trump story in under 3 minutes.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
8 years ago, one man had the courage to step forward, to take on the corrupt ruling class, to battle the Washington insiders who raided our factories, pried open our borders, and sent our best Americans to die in desert wars overseas. But the corrupt system fought back. They could never forgive him for taking away their power and giving it to you.
January 20th, 2017 will be remembered as the day the people became the rulers of this nation again.
So they came after his family, his business, and his freedom. One hoax, one injustice after another. But Donald J. Trump pressed on because he wasn't fighting for himself. He was fighting for you.
They're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I'm just standing in their way.
The Democrat Party tried to throw their opponent behind bars, but Donald Trump would not bow down to tyranny.
I will never quit, I will never bend, I will never break, I will never yield, not even in the face of death itself.
An assassin came within a centimeter of taking his life.
Seeing Donald Trump get up after getting shot in the face, pump his fist in the air, is one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life.
Weeks later, a hostile foreign regime, desperate to stop America's comeback, launched their own plot to assassinate President Trump. No American political leader has had to endure what he has endured. He did it for us, for our children, and for our freedom.
We stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. We are going to redeem America's promise and unlock the extraordinary future that is just within our reach.
But now, he is counting on you to finish the job. Only you can ensure all of this struggle ends with our victory. He took a bullet for you. Now, we need you to vote for him, because only you can decide how this journey ends.
Together, we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again.
Thoughts?
Political ads have been epic this year. They really have been, like, going to the heart of the matter. So long that they have had terrible political ads, and it's nice to see the going to the heart of the matter and truly good motivational videos as well, and communicating the gravity of what's going on. I think it's great ads.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Agent Smith.
Agent Smith is smithing. Well, I know because he was messing with my camera earlier.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Hey, Agent Smith. Hope everything's going good.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Can you read that, please?
Musk and Rogan lambast Democrats for hoaxes, naming Bathhouse Berry specifically.
Ready?
Yeah.
office, they're doing all the things that they accuse Trump of doing.
Yeah. Openly. Yeah.
I mean, the sheer number of hoaxes that the Democratic Party is pushing over and over again. And it's like, look, I understand like politicians are gonna, exaggerate. They're gonna misspeak, and they'll tell occasional, untruths, whatever. That's how it is in politics. But when you have deliberate, concerted, repeated pushing of hoaxes, you're like, wait a second, like, come on, man, this is too far.
And you're supposed to be the good guys.
You're supposed to, and you claim to be the good guys. I'm like, exactly.
You're supposed to be the progressives.
Yes, the Dems are like, oh, we're the good guys. We're the honest people. No, hang on. You can't claim to be the good guys. You can't claim to be the honest people if you're deliberately pushing hoaxes that have been debunked thoroughly.
Yeah.
Well, we're like even Snopes, which is a liberal thing, says it's bogus.
Yeah.
Like the Fine People hoax.
Obama just said that on stage.
Obama just said that. I was like, what the flying fuck?
He doesn't give a fuck. They're just
That's
just
a flat
going
out
for
goddamn
it.
fucking lie.
Flat out lie.
Flat out fucking
How
lie.
about the other one where Kamala's campaign used what Trump was saying about protecting women and from illegal immigrants?
Thank you.
Remember that? What he was saying is, if the women like it or not, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
When he was saying that, they were trying to say that he was taking away women's right to choose whether women like it or not. Like, that's not what he was saying.
Absolutely.
He was literally talking about protecting them from dangerous people that are sneaking in through the border.
Yes, exactly. They'll take like not even a full sentence, like a half a sentence from Trump, and then they'll push it on every ad, every speaking event,
And it gets
media.
repeated on the news.
Yes.
This is what's crazy. They'll talk about it on these news shows, news shows.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a recent one that came up, which had a lot of people, because a lot of people reached out to me, was like, they're like, oh, Trump says he wants to execute Liz Cheney. I'm like, that is utter bullshit.
It's not what he said at all.
It's not what he said at all. He all he said was like, what he's saying is that, look, if Liz Cheney actually had to fight at the front lines, she'd think twice about going to war.
Exactly.
That, like, it's easy to go to war. It's easy to be a warmonger if you don't have to, risk dying at the front lines. Like, basically it's fucked up if people are having like fancy dinners in Washington D.C. While people are being slaughtered in trenches. It's like you're not feeling the pain.
Exactly.
You're not taking the risk. It's someone else dying.
Exactly.
That's cruel and lacking in empathy. And all Trump was saying was that it's like Liz Cheney would be much less of a warmonger, because she's a huge warmonger, just like her dad, if she actually had to go to the front lines and fight herself.
And meanwhile, they're saying that he's saying she should be shot.
Yes, which is a total lie.
And
but I had like tons of people call me this weekend saying, "Oh, Trump says he's going to put Liz Cheney in a firing squad." I'm like, that is an outrageous lie. And legacy media ran with that lie big time.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just wild to see. And if it wasn't for Twitter or X now, I don't think we would know about all this stuff. I think it would be very difficult for you. I think YouTube throttled. They did something weird. They won't say what they did, but they did something weird with the Trump interview that I did.
Yeah,
where you couldn't find it.
It doesn't make sense. Like
it made no sense.
I mean, it was like the biggest interview on earth.
Yeah,
and you can't find it.
Yeah. Not only that, it wasn't trending.
Bullshit.
It wasn't trending.
It wasn't trending.
No, it wasn't trending.
You're like there's just no excuse for that.
Thoughts?
Well, that's because Kamala chose not to do an interview, so they couldn't, make it look like, see, we show Joe Rogan all the time. Whatever. Anyways, yeah, we know how those shenanigans work. Elon Musk brings up a lot of things. They can't claim the high ground. Yes.
North Carolina, Ohio, and West Virginia just closed. Just so you know.
Closed.
Mhm.
Okay, so the polls closed in where?
In North Carolina, Ohio, and West Virginia, they just closed.
Okay. All right. North Carolina is a big deal.
They're closing in 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Okay. And North Carolina is a big deal. That's one of the ones that we're really watching for to see if it goes for Trump. And I have a feeling that North Carolina's gonna vote red this time. I don't know. What do y'all think? So Elon Musk pointing out the fact that they try to claim the moral high ground. At the same time, they do everything against the moral high ground, where they even get fact checked by their own peeps. Snopes specifically. And we know that we can't trust Snopes. Snopes is a worthless place to get your fact checks from.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting tidbit. And then the whole thing about executing or putting Liz Cheney in front of firing
He
squad.
never said that.
He never said that specifically. He said that he would that she was. He said he danced around something with treason, in which case the punishment for treason is execution. That's what's prescribed for. And so they put the dots together, which wouldn't necessarily be put together if you get, caught for treason. But I mean, that's kind of how that works.
Yeah.
So sorry, not sorry that y'all don't like it, but you knew the consequences of the game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hope says, I think North Carolina will be red. Yeah. And then Little Unker agrees that North Carolina is going to be red. Although, what's a good idea?
I think what you were talking about.
Oh, okay.
What
Well,
they
I mean-
accused him of.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Dad.
Hey, Dad, thanks for joining. He says, even though Wasserman Schultz is in the lead at this time, Newsmax projected her opponent to be the winner in Florida. Well, we know she has the money. Now she'll have the time to get her teeth fixed.
Oh, Dad.
Oh, Dad.
Oh, Dad. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Can you read that, please?
Elon and Rogan say, this is the last chance. Boy, that's the truth.
Ready?
Yeah.
Well, I'll say it again, man. I think this is the last election. If Trump doesn't win, this is the last election.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think people, and a lot of people are waking up and realize that have been lifelong Democrats. Guys like Bill Ackman, guys like Chamath.
Yeah, exactly.
Tulsi Gabbard switched over to the Republicans. Like there's a lot of people who their whole life they've been left wing and they realize like, I can't do this anymore.
You and I used to be Democrats.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's nuts.
It's nuts, man. And if the Dems win this election, they will legalize enough illegals to turn the swing states, and everywhere will be like California. There will be no escape.
That is so insane.
This is the final. This is it. This is the last chance.
Has anybody tried
And
to
I
push
just want to
back?
go out and vote. Vote like your life depends on it. Vote like your future depends on it, because it does. This is the last chance, man.
Thoughts?
Aaron says, I still need to watch this. Yeah, me too. I'll do it in all my spare time.
Right?
Yeah. Anyway, so yes, we all know this. We all know that if Trump doesn't win this time, that this is the last election, last real election, last chance for a real election.
I'm just putting it up while
Just
you're
putting it up. Okay, yeah, because I got the sound on. Okay, so you just got it muted. That's fine. Anyway, this would be, in fact, the last election, real election, or real chance for an election. And keep in mind that even though Trump is most likely to win this one, and let's say there's no shenanigans or anything like that, in which case we're all going to be freaked out and weirded out because like nothing weird happened, and I'm sure we'd all be happy with that. That would be glorious. But at the same time, it's not the last time that they're going to try to steal the nation away. There is a lot that is the United States. The United States is still the greatest experiment mankind has ever been able to come up with in terms of self-governance. And we need that as a course of humanity. We have to be able to govern ourselves, because if we don't govern ourselves, then we are destined to go back to what would be called the Dark Ages, where it's just, petty kingdoms and petty kings using people to fight each other to expand their tiny petty kingdom until they can finally, make it a big kingdom again. And we just start all over. And we don't need that crap. That's not going to be, that's not going to work. So we need to move forward. They're always talking about progress. So let's keep that progress moving. Aaron says, Santino's spare time. I have heard of that mythical creature before, but alas, never seen proof of its existence.
Amen.
Yeah, I know. That's the real conspiracy.
Spare time.
Spare time. Because I know that people had it once upon a time. There was spare time.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. I'll be going back and forth.
Oh, yeah. I like
Is
him.
God really first in your life? Is he first in your life? Is he first in your day? Like when you wake up in the morning, does your mind drift to all the things you have to do that day? Or does your mind drift toward the things of God, who he is? When you think about the financial pressures, do you tend to put him first in whatever he blesses you with? Or do you put him last if you consider him even at all? Where does your mind go when it drifts? Does it go to the worst possible case scenario? Does your mind drift toward the goodness of God, the presence of God, his power, his love, his grace? Do you put God first in your relationships? Are they centered around him in every single way? Seek him first, seek him first, seek him first, seek him first. Some of you may just come to the realization that maybe the reason why I'm so often burdened and worried is because I'm not putting him first. I'm not putting him first. What we worry about the most might reveal where we trust God the least. And the good news is, what does this mean? It means there's an incredible opportunity for you to put your cares in the hands of God. He says, cast all of your anxiety on me because I care for you. Cry out your heart to him. When you draw near to him, he draws near to you. Cry out to him. Cry out to him. Take that burden to him.
Thoughts, sir?
Okay, just real quick, Mike let us know that Trump wins West Virginia. So they're calling that one. That's a good deal. And that's a nice change because keep in mind, one of the Rockefellers was a senator in West Virginia not too far ago. I think he left around 2017-ish, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so putting God first. How does that happen? You know what? First thing in the morning, Kay and I, we do the Bible app right away. And we make sure that that's the first thing that we do. I mean, do we make mistakes with that? Yeah. And I'll tell you what, our day shows, just like he was talking about. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You definitely get in the challenge. Oh, you forgot about me this morning. Didn't mean to. Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe you'll think better tomorrow morning. And so we make sure that we get that done. And it's not just a routine, hey, we got to do this first thing in the morning as soon as we wake up. No, it's actually a great way, as far as I'm concerned, to try to wake up, because it gets me thinking, and it gets me thinking about the right things, as opposed to all the soup that's going around at night. First thing when you wake up, you're trying to come to, and it's just everything comes into the brain all at once. And you know what? It's nice because it gives me that quiet, it gives me that peace. And then trying to keep them on my mind throughout the course of the day. I always make sure that the Bible app's quote of the day is up before I shut my phone down, so that way it's the first thing I see when I open my phone up. And I think that's like something that helps me out a lot. Mike says, before I get out of bed, I pray. Amen. I love that too. These are we all have our own practices, and I think that is what helps me, without a doubt, make it through so many of the challenges, because there's challenges throughout the day. It's not like a lack of challenges. If nothing else, it seems like some of the challenges are getting more and more challenging, but keeping him on our hearts and minds all the time, I know it helps me. Hope y'all are able to, have those routines that help y'all out too.
Exactly.
So right now they're saying 3 for Kamala, 23 for President Trump.
Yep.
Polls closed in North Carolina, Ohio, and West Virginia.
Yep. And they're gonna.
Some of the others should have just closed.
Yeah. Yep. You want to go on? Or?
Yeah, let's go ahead and keep on going here and see what we got. Is Case pulling that up? All sorts of stuff going on in the background. Extra busy. Yeah, you got to keep switching back and forth.
Can you go ahead and read that, please?
Eric Trump delivers ground view of the final walkout as his dad enters his last election rally.
You ready?
Mm-hmm. As a candidate.
Next to you and defend her still today. Because there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Thoughts?
Well, it looked like there were a few people there.
A few.
Yeah, a nice small gathering.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Small gathering for Trump.
Small gathering.
Yeah. All right. And then what was it? Kentucky went to Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Dad's saying that they're calling Kentucky for Trump. Yeah, there's going to be some results coming in here. They're going to be low numbers. Yeah, projected winner for Vermont would be Kamala. That's not a surprise.
That's her 3.
That's her 3. All right. And they only have 4% in.
Yeah.
Indiana.
Here we go. Polls close in 22 minutes in Alabama, Connecticut, D.C. That went too fast. Maine, Missouri, Mississippi, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to be closing. The information is
Yeah.
going to be coming fast and furious here soon.
Yeah. In
Connecticut,
about 20
yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, that little not the ticker, but the little bar across the bottom does seem to be going pretty quick.
Yeah. Real
Yeah.
fast.
And then this is Sky News.
Yeah. This is Sky News.
All right. I know she's got other ones too. I think you got Fox and which one?
I have NBC. Hold on. Yeah. NBC and Fox. You ready?
Yep.
I got Dan Bongino.
Dan Bongino says the final step to achieve victory is for Republicans to show up on Tuesday.
Which we've been saying.
If you haven't gone to vote yet, turn this thing off and get your ass out there and go vote. Thank you.
You don't even have to turn it off. You're on a mobile phone. Take us
Yeah,
with you.
it's a
Go
mobile
vote.
phone. Make it mobile.
Yep. Yeah, Dad. Mike told us that West
Yeah.
Virginia for Trump.
Yeah, West Virginia for Trump.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I promise you right now, based on pure numbers alone, that if you simply execute the number of people who are diehard Republican voters still left in these swing states who have not shown up yet, who likely are planning on doing tomorrow, they didn't want to vote early. It's too late to argue about that. That's fine. They're patriots. They will show up tomorrow. I know that. It is a pure numbers game. If they show up, we win. It's that simple. No, yes, it is. They have not met their firewall numbers for early voting, the Democrats, to ensure they can win this thing. They haven't. They don't have enough left if we show up.
Thoughts?
Hold on, I'm trying to type it. It's not working. There we go. Okay. Big ZD.
I know.
Got to get out there to vote. Truly, that's the most important thing. Can't just, sit in the back and expect it to work out. Yeah, this is the same thing we've been hammering on, and I think people get it for the most part. I know that there were a few people who had not voted as of this morning when I went to the HVAC class, and they were adamant that they were going to vote, and I think pretty much everybody in there has voted if they hadn't voted already. So it's great. There's going to be great participation, and I really look like that's what we need to do. People, sadly, people feel like their vote doesn't necessarily count or matter, and that's a very real problem that the government needs to address. People need to feel like their vote actually matters. And it has nothing to do with the Electoral College. There's nothing wrong with the Electoral College, but we definitely need to make sure that the votes are being counted in a proper manner. And once people feel like their votes are being counted in a proper manner, then I believe that'll restore a lot of the good faith and confidence that the government should have. Little Lunker says, I have white pizza with mushrooms and spinach and garlic. God, that sounds so. Why are we talking about food right now?
I don't know. They started it.
Okay, well, I'm hungry as it is.
Yeah. You ready?
Yes.
Can you read that, please?
Reminder that Democrats used to lead the charge against voting machines. Yeah, things have changed.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I continue to think that our voting machines are too vulnerable.
Researchers have repeatedly demonstrated that ballot recording machines and other voting systems are susceptible to tampering.
Even hackers with limited prior knowledge, tools, and resources are able to breach voting machines in a matter of minutes.
In 2018, electronic voting machines in Georgia and Texas deleted votes for certain candidates or switched votes from one candidate to another.
The biggest seller of voting machines is doing something that violates Cybersecurity 101, directing that you install remote access software, which would make a machine like that, a magnet for fraudsters and hackers.
These voting machines can be hacked quite easily.
You could easily hack into them. It makes it seem like all these states are doing different things, but in fact, 3 companies are controlling this.
It is the individual voting machines that pose some of the greatest risks.
There are a lot of states that are dealing with antiquated machines, right, which are vulnerable to being hacked.
Workers were able to easily hack into an electronic voting machine. It was possible to switch votes.
43% of American voters use voting machines that researchers have found have serious security flaws, including backdoors.
We know how vulnerable now our systems were. I know the hackathon that took place last year, where virtually every machine was broken into fairly quickly.
I actually held a demonstration for my colleagues here at the Capitol, where we brought in folks who, before our eyes, hacked election machines, those that are being used in many states.
Aging systems also frequently rely on unsupported software like Windows XP in 2000, which may not receive regular security patches and are thus more vulnerable to the latest methods of cyber attack.
In a close presidential election, they just need to hack one swing state, or maybe 1 or 2, or maybe just a few counties in one swing state.
I'm very concerned that you could have a hack that finally went through.
Interesting. So, Chachi says, what happened to Klobuchar? Ain't seen her in a minute. Yeah, there's quite a few that we haven't seen in a little while. Isn't that interesting? And yet so many of them were the ones talking about the fact that those shouldn't be trusted. Nobody really ever wanted the electronic voting machines, especially when the old machines seemed to work just fine. I look forward to getting rid of all this electronic wizardry that they have because it's so easily hackable. Everything that they were just saying was 100% true. They knew that, and they decided to take advantage of it, is what it looks like as far as I'm concerned, based off of the information that we had from the previous presidential election. So, yeah, this is something that I think everybody can agree on. And then once Trump is actually inaugurated and a lot of the house cleaning has happened in terms of real investigations occurring, in terms of trying to take people to or have real justice be dealt in terms of trying to steal this nation. But we got to get through this part tonight, and it's going on, and we'll see how it works out. But yeah, it's kind of interesting.
It's very interesting. So, can you read that, please?
Yeah, I heard some of this Russia crap. Anyways, Russia. Georgia Secretary of State claims 2 polling station. Can I say that word? BOMB.
I don't know.
Threats came from Russia.
You ready?
Why the hell would they do that? It
don't
doesn't
know.
make any sense. Like their scams just don't even make sense.
know.
Could they at least try harder?
They like a one-trick pony.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyway, let's go.
Yeah, let's do this.
Threats and polling places that we've heard about, one bomb threat. Have you heard any other verifiable threats at any polling places?
We've heard some threats that.
Wow.
Threats and polling places that we've heard.
Okay, I'll just put that in
The Telegram?
The Telegram.
Yeah, please put that in the Telegram because the sound was really awful. Was that sound terrible for y'all as well? Let us know about that because I could barely hear anything that it was saying. But long story short, it appears that what do we got going on here? Oh, you got something else?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, it appears that they're talking about that there were a boom threat. Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate that. It's a big help.
Yes.
Y'all are amazing.
Exactly. So we got Kelly. Let's listen.
Yeah, we could use some Kelly. Well, that was quick.
Wow.
What happened? Don't tell me.
Ask you a question
Okay.
today. Are you tired, exhausted? Do you feel like after you gave your life to Jesus, all you've done is tried to get through your sin, but it's just not working? You see the sin in your life. You know sin separates you from God, but no matter how hard you try, you just can't get the sin out of your life. Look, if that sounds like you, I've got some truth today that'll set you free. And oh, son, this is good. Look, my friends, the first thing you need to know is if you could fix your sin, you would have by now, but you can't. You see, here's the problem. You gave your life to Jesus because you realized I'm a mess. I'm a sinner and I need a savior. So at the church service or at the camp, the conference, the whatever, you raised your hand acknowledging I need Jesus in my life. But the very next second after you did that, the devil started whispering in your ear, but you didn't recognize it as the devil because what he said to you sounded like it came from God. Oh, what is the lie that he told you? He probably told you something like this. I see you gave your life to Jesus. Good for you. See all that sin in your life? If you can just get through that, you'll have a great relationship with God. So get to work. Well, hold on there, Kelly. Why would the devil tell me to get rid of the sin in my life? Doesn't the devil want me to sin? And there you have it. We don't catch the lie of the devil because why would the devil want us to work on our sin? I'll tell you why, friends. Because if you're focused on your sin, you're not focused on Jesus. Now, could someone in the comments quote me the scripture where Jesus says you and I will tag team your sin issue? Can someone quote me the scripture where God says you go and fix your sin? I'll wait. That's what I thought. It doesn't exist. You will not find one place in the Bible where God tells you go fix your sin. Do you know why? Because you can't, and the devil knows that too. So if he can get you focused on your sin right out of the gate, day one, he just gave you an impossible task. And instead of being kingdom focused, you're castle focused. I gotta fix my life. I gotta get rid of this sin. Oh, really? I thought that's what Jesus came to do. Listen, my friends, let me tell you the truth today. As long as you are using your hands to fix your sin, using your hands to work on your life, you've stopped God from using his. Our God is a gentleman, and if you want to fight the battles in your life, he'll let you. However, if you will hand him the battles in your life and you let go, that's when he'll take his hands and do the best work you've ever seen. So let me encourage you today. Your job is not to fix the sin issue in your life. Your job is to expose it. Light kills darkness. Shine light on the sin in your life. You focus on Jesus. He'll fight the battle. He'll grow you and mature you into who he's created you to be. You see, the devil really only has one trick, my friends, to make you believe you don't have what you already have. He's been doing it since day one. Just the same thing he did in the garden to Eve. Hey, girl, if you eat this fruit, you're going to be just like God. Oh, really? Whose image were we created in? God's. Who was Eve already like? God. The devil's trying to make you believe God's holding out on you. Come on, do you really think that's the case? It's not. God gave everything for you. Your salvation, bought and paid for. Your healing and deliverance, bought and paid for. Your marriage, your kids, your finances, your job, you're bought and paid for. Stop focusing on what's wrong with you and start focusing on what's right with him. If you could have fixed your sin by now, you would have. Clearly, we can't. So let's let him. You don't have to fix everything in your life to be in right standing with God. Jesus bought and paid for that for you too. Shift your focus today. Stop looking at your sin and start looking at the one who set you free. And think about that for a minute.
Thoughts?
All right. So it's been said many times, and I think that Kelly. First of all, Kelly's awesome, and I think that Kelly's had a video on that once before, and we played that. But really, it is the thing. We can't fix the things. That is our desire to have control. But if we had control, we would have had self-control back then. We have to understand that that sin that we do is just part of our very flawed nature. And it's our flawed nature that's going to prevent us from being able to do this. And so he says that we have to shine a light on our sin. How do we shine that light on our sin? To acknowledge that we have these thoughts or feelings or desires, whatever the case is, and say, God, I know that this isn't aligned with your will. I have to give this to you because I am human. I am fallible and I need help with this. And then the key point that he was talking about is to then focus on doing something that, brings light to him and what he actually wants from us. Use our talents, use those abilities that he gave us to do something that's going to bring God into the world, as opposed to that sin. If we're focused on the sin, we recognize that sin's going on, pray, let it go, and then focus on what you can do that's going to be for the betterment. And I really think that it can be that simple, but in the moment, it can be the most difficult thing in which to try to do.
I agree.
But we do our best.
That's all we can do. I mean,
yeah, I got you. So.
You ready?
Yeah. Anything exciting happening?
No.
Not at the moment? Okay.
No.
It's going to take a little bit of time. We already know this is going to take some time.
Yeah. Can you read that, please?
Yes. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers told not to wear uniforms when voting so they don't intimidate the illegals.
You ready?
Let that one sink in.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
Major breaking, concerning news. I just got contacted by ICE officers. I'm down here in Phoenix, Arizona. Just got word that in Arizona and in Pennsylvania, at least those two states, they've got word from their higher ups that when they go to vote tomorrow, they are not allowed to wear their uniforms or their badges when they go in to vote. And they believe it's because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden don't want to intimidate illegal aliens voting. An official memo went out to ICE officers across America, at least in Arizona and in Pennsylvania, telling them not to wear their uniforms or badges when they go to vote. They asked in order for their own protection that I wouldn't release them, but I've got the documents showing this, which means they have to change clothes. Imagine this. Imagine you're working tomorrow as an ICE officer and you're going in to work and you need to vote. In order to vote, you have to change your clothes. What a slap in the face to these guys who Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have neutered for 4 years. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have allowed the invasion of our borders, and now they're telling ICE officers and ICE agents that they can't even wear their uniforms in to vote because they might intimidate illegals, which means they know illegals are voting. This is coming directly from our own government. You don't think they're planning to have illegals vote? You are blind. That's the plan. Not just illegals. They're going to try to steal it every way they possibly can. This is treason. And the only way we stop and fix it is if we outvote the fraud tomorrow. It's up to you, America. We've got one election to save this nation. I still believe God is in control. No matter what happens, God is sovereign. We win in the end. But I want to see America great again. I don't want to see America fall like Rome did and all the other civilizations before it. And if Kamala Harris is allowed to steal this election, that's what's coming. So again, breaking news coming from ICE. They're being told they're not allowed to wear their uniforms when they go in to vote because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris don't want illegal aliens intimidated at the polling locations. Traitors. They are traitors. They are traitors to our country.
Thoughts?
It's so difficult to not see them as traitors to the country. Telling our immigration officials that they can't wear their uniform when they go vote because and they gave a because. And it was a stupid because.
Yeah.
Because we don't want the illegals to feel like they shouldn't be at a polling location. Come on, man. Like it has to be bullshit because it's just too stupid to be real. Absolutely unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Now, granted, it's, sources say, I get it. I understand. But at the same time, he seems to do that honestly. We've seen him before, and he's never led people wrong as far as I can tell. But yeah, wouldn't surprise me. And probably one of those things that will be wrapped up in the investigation because they really are traitors to the nation.
They really
Because
are.
if there's an illegal alien in a polling location, then why should they feel comfortable there?
Mm-hmm.
There's absolutely no rational or logical reason for that explanation as to why they can't wear their uniform. Now, if they want to say that it might intimidate other people by seeing uniformed officers that look like, all tacticaled out, well, yeah, maybe y'all should reconsider the tactical uniforms because you're supposed to be here for the people and not supposed to be our overlords. But that's another discussion for another time. But the reason they gave is truly treason as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer, but hey, hopefully we'll get the answer to that one eventually as to whether or not that is treason. Steph says, yeah, that's a crock of shit right there. Amen. Yeah, I know. Grab your popcorn. It does seem like theater, Ange. It really does. Yeah, go into the polling location, yell, La Migra. Jenny says, it feels like we're in a very low budget Netflix B-rated film. Yeah, one that Barry wrote. As like his fantasy.
You ready?
It's terrible. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's move on. Is there anything else going on in the?
No. Just checking.
Okay. Yeah, should be popping in soon. It's 30 minutes after some of those polls closed.
Uh-huh.
Philadelphia City Commissioner's office tells non-citizens they can vote.
You ready?
Well, that explains why Pennsylvania was one of those places where they told the La Migra that they can't wear their uniforms. Wow. The coincidences are just amazing, aren't they?
They are. Ready?
Yeah.
James O'Keefe here in North Philadelphia on 5th Street. Right here is the Philadelphia City Commissioner's office the day before Election Day. And across the street is an NGO called Saiba. That's Saiba. And they are telling people to vote. They are telling people that all you need is what's called a TIN number. That's ITIN number. And you can vote if you're not a citizen of the United States. So we sent an undercover reporter to this NGO right across from the place where people are early voting. And she got confirmation that, yes, in fact, she can vote with nothing but an ITIN number. And then we went into the city commissioner's office to speak to the man who works there, working for the city government, confirming that you only need to be a resident of Philadelphia.
But when I say resident, that means of the entire United States. But you're just worried about Philadelphia. Oh, you don't care about anything else. You just want them to have a resident of Philadelphia. After that, you confirm that, you register, whether you have a social security number or not, you can vote.
Obviously, it's extremely loud here. Music is very loud. So we're going to go ahead and walk across the street and talk to these people.
Hello. Mira, están jodiendo estos mamados.
Are you
Aquí están jodiendo.
Are you Juliesa? Are you Juliesa? and these people over here across the street are saying that you can vote if you have an ITIN number. This is the document that they gave us.
Once again,
ITIN.
I cannot comment because I don't know, no idea.
Thoughts?
Good old James O'Keefe, isn't he something else? Always finding all the things that are relevant at that very moment. Just encouraging them to vote. That, whew. Yeah, this is an attack on the nation and every way. And this is exactly why it's so important that everybody gets out to vote or got out to vote already, because those are the shenanigans that they really are, trying to pull. I'm missing stuff here. Yeah, that's a great question, F. Glenn. What do Puerto Ricans have to do with illegals? I have no idea. But they certainly seem to be one of the people trying to push a certain agenda through that. So, yeah. Anyways, leading in county, President Trump, 54.5% to Harris, 40. I missed that. I was talking too slow. Yeah, that was in Florida. So
Yeah,
Trump's ahead in Florida. Yeah, pretty much expect Florida to go for Trump. I don't think that one would surprise too many people. All right, the Senate at this hour, there's 40 Republicans. They have gained 1, and the Democrats are at 29. So
31 uncalled.
31 uncalled at this point. In the House, 403 are uncalled, 7 for the Democrats, 25 for the Republicans. So that would also explain why we have this positive trend towards Trump right now. The states that are doing the reporting, it's already for Trump. And yeah, we're expecting a lot of the numbers to do all sorts of weird stuff throughout the night. Let's see, what was this nationwide? So far, Trump is at 54%. Looks like it's Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and I think that was West Virginia that's got county reporting by the county reporting as to what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, South Carolina, big red, Trump orange. Let's see, governors, so far 1 Republican and 10 uncalled races. So there are 11 Republican races. Wow. And
For governors.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how it all goes. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a long night, friends.
It is. Are you ready?
Oh, God. No.
Please.
Why?
Just read it.
Fine. Male Kamala voter cries on CNN. Says he's voting so his daughters can have abortions.
Trump wins Florida, by the way.
Yeah, Trump wins Florida. Woot, woot. Yeah, we knew that one was going to happen.
You ready?
Yes.
Who did you vote for today?
I voted for Kamala Harris.
Why is that?
I have 3 daughters, 4 children overall, and women's rights is pretty important to them and my daughters. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional about that. I didn't think that I was going to do that, but just their bodies, their choice type of a mentality. I want them to grow up in a world that's welcoming to everybody. So yeah, that's why I cast my vote today.
Yeah, F. Glenn. Yeah, it certainly seems like that's the case. He says, as far as that guy's concerned, yeah, he's a cuck. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Trump wins Tennessee too, and Mike lets us know that Trump wins Alabama. Woot woot.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, that one's not so much of a surprise. We're expecting Trump to win a lot of these. That whole portion of the country is very red. That guy, the soy was strong with that one, wasn't it? There was a strong soy power with that guy. Absolutely. Yeah.
Interesting, right?
Yeah, I've got nothing else to say on that dude.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You ready?
I told you I wasn't ready for that.
I know.
All right.
Let's go.
All right, here we go.
What if Kamala Harris was never meant to actually take office as the next president of the United States? What if she was simply put up as a distraction? So while conservatives, while the right is over here waving their victory flags, laughing at her because she is a laughingstock, she's hilarious, but already taking the victory lap, if you will, not understanding that she was put up simply to be a distraction because the real strategy is taking place behind the curtains. And let me explain this to you for just a second for those of you who aren't understanding where I'm coming from. Jamie Raskin, the congressman from Maryland, has been parroting this specific line, stating that even if Donald Trump is voted in, because it looks like he's absolutely going to be, that they will invoke the 14th Amendment, Section 3, which states that it disqualifies as a provision any former government official from holding office if they took an oath to support the Constitution, but then betrayed it by engaging in an insurrection. And they've called Donald Trump consistently an insurrectionist, even though not one charge of insurrection has been brought against him. He is saying that on J 6th, 2025, regardless of what happens on November 5th, 2024, that they are going to disqualify him. And he says, when this happens, there will be civil unrest. I want you to listen to this real quick. Watch this.
What can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress. So it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025, to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody in civil war conditions.
So they will effectively, and they've been saying this, that they're going to invoke this. They're going to put this into play. So it doesn't matter what the will of the people is and the fact that people voted Donald Trump in. It'll be the fact that they are going to attempt to disqualify him, and they've been putting some strategy in place. What is that strategy, Joey? Well, let me share it with you. What they're getting ready to do, number one, on November 5th, they're going to conduct, the Department of Homeland Security is part of a massive cyber security full-scale exercise that's taking place in Atlanta, Georgia. Why would the DHS on election day, when we conduct our elections for the president of the United States, they're conducting a full-scale cybersecurity exercise? Strategically, it makes perfect sense. Then you move forward to January 6, 2025. Now, does it make sense? The DOD's Directive 5240-01, which allows for assistance to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities by use of the United States military against civilians. Why would they do this? This is what you call martial law. This is what you call a collective effort to attack the American people. And I want you to understand very clearly what's actually taking place here. There's a strategy being put together, people, because they understand that if they can take the will of the people and shove it down and kill it, crush it. Oh, that's who you voted for? No. We're going to disqualify him. And now we'll install whoever we want. We'll put lockdowns. We'll go ahead and issue martial law. We'll lock everything down and we'll install the leader who we say. This is so extremely crucial and pivotal as we are moving into the last couple of days into this election. Understand that there's strategy at play, and I hope I am 100% wrong. I really do. But when I sit back and I read everything and I look at it, the writing's on the wall. It's all there on paper. It's all being said from people who are already in power. It's being put together. Could this very well be the case? Why would the Democratic Party, who are led by people like Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, who I may not like, but these are very bright, intelligent, strategic people, why would they put somebody like Kamala Harris in front and have her be the candidate of choice for the Democrats? They're not stupid. They understand what they're doing. And have they so easily swayed the American right and conservatives and people who are really about this country, about our future, about our morals, about our ethics, restoring our economy, making America great again? From all races, colors, creeds, did they get us to take the bait and be distracted while they prepare for something much more sinister? I leave that with you. Think about that deeply. Drop your comments. Let me know what you guys think about this. And let's pray that this is not the case.
Thoughts?
So what he's saying makes some sense to me, but at the same time, like I think that it's arrow in their quiver. I think it's something that they plan on doing, but they don't have the support in the House and the Senate as it is to be able to pull that kind of crap off. Are they going to try? Yeah, because they have no choice. Remember, they're backed into a corner. These are this is the P3DO ring that has been causing all of these problems that have their loyalty to something other than the very people that they're supposed to represent. That's why they're doing all these lies about President Trump. They tried, and they did try to say that there was an insurrection and all this other stuff, but it's already come out that Liz Cheney was tainting the evidence before they even brought it to the floor. And so there is a very thin legal, like any kind of pathway to be able to pull off something like that. And this is under the assumption that the lawyers within the military are fucking stupid. They're not. They're geniuses. Some of the most brilliant lawyers are part of and wear rank in the military because they are military lawyers. And they, trust me, they know the Constitution. They know what their rights and responsibilities are, and they're going to stay in the background as long as they can. That the military intelligence apparatus that is there is very capable of figuring out what's going on. And if you think that there aren't people within the military that don't see those kinds of plots, plans, and ploys, that they're going to fall for that to turn against the people of the U.S., for these people who have had some of the weakest freaking accusations against Trump and his supporters. No, I think that they'll try. They're going to try to cheat. They're going to try to jack with it. We've been hearing about, what was it? There was some boom threats down in Georgia. There was something else I had seen, I want to say in Tennessee. They had to close some polls. Like it's happening, right? They're still going to do these kinds of things, but they have no choice. They have to try it because either way, they're cooked. So the only thing that they have left is to stay focused on the positive. Sometimes it seems like those who hate us the most are very, very good at keeping a positive mental attitude about maintaining their lie and everybody else following along with their shit. So, all right. Let's see. Right now, it looks like 27 for Harris, 90 for Trump, 9.5 million for Harris, 11.2 7 million votes for Trump. So he's leading in the popular vote and the electoral vote. Still have that one governor, let's see, called. And what else is going on? Senate tonight. Four states. We've got Florida, Tennessee, West Virginia, and Indiana that have gone for president or for the Republicans, and 2 Democrats look like Massachusetts. And is that New Hampshire, or was that Vermont? Maryland. I see Maryland there. Oh well, that's the Harris. Yeah, they changed the map. Anyways, all right, good.
So that's what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness gracious.
I know
there's
there's
an interesting night.
It's going to be an interesting week.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's fully prepared for us to not have answers tonight or probably even tomorrow. We'll see how it works out.
Exactly. You ready?
Yes, ma'am. Bishop Marimar. Is this the one Jenny sent? Thank you, Jenny. There we go. All right. Well, let's watch the bishop.
If you mean after Trump, America is finished. It's not about Trump, but I don't know. But I'm telling you, Trump is the last one. Because after the trumpet will be blown.
So that is interesting, right? And we look at let's see, Barron Trump's Marvelous Adventure. One of those books by Ingersoll Lockwood was The Last President, talking about Trump. Obviously, they didn't know clearly back in 1890 something when the book was written.
Right.
Even though there's a lot of strange coincidences. And so I don't know how that one's supposed to work out, but I have a feeling that the nature of humanity is going to be changing. We understand that there's a great awakening going on. And I know that I swore an oath to the Constitution of the United States, and it's going to be very interesting to see this all go away with so many people who took an oath to the Constitution. I don't know. I'm going to see how this one plays out, but it's not the first time we've heard about that. And yeah, I find that interesting.
Yeah.
Chachi says the enemy is not at all positive. They telegraph fear and panic with every word they say and every move they make. Their best bet would be shut up and stand still. Yeah, I get that. But they don't.
Yeah. No, they don't.
But I will say that they aren't very positive. You can see it in their faces. I saw some pictures of the faces that Barry and Big Mike were making in their attempt to try to sway people and convince people, and they just didn't look like they had that magic that they carried once upon a time.
Exactly.
Yeah, New Hampshire. It's New Hampshire.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Can you read?
Trump wins South Carolina. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Appreciate that.
Ready?
Every time we put it on, nothing happens. As soon as we turn it off, like right afterwards.
Yeah, you're the one that keeps telling me to turn it off. So.
I mean, whatever.
Can you read that, please?
I can. Megyn Kelly's endorsement at the last Trump rally was truly inspiring.
Ready?
Yes.
Megyn Kelly is here, and she's doing. Come up here, Megyn. She ripped the guy apart.
Hi, everybody. Oh, it's great to see you. Can you believe this guy? Can you believe the energy and the stamina on this guy at his age? I'm ready to go to sleep over there. He's got another rally to go to till tonight. Let me tell you, first of all, one of the reasons why I wanted to come here, one of the many reasons I wanted to come here. When I launched my show 4 years ago, we had Mark Cuban on the program. Yeah. May have seen he was in the news this week. And he started going on about how bad America's race history was and how ashamed he was of America. And that's why he was at all these protests. And he felt it was really important to stand up and speak out about human rights violations. And then it got awkward when I asked him about all the money he was taking from China. And then he dropped a bunch of F-bombs. And I thought, I really enjoy this feeling of proving Mark Cuban wrong. And so here I am at a Trump rally, a strong, intelligent woman to prove Mark Cuban wrong again. I won't take up much of your time, but I do want to tell you the main reasons I am voting for Donald Trump. Number one, immigration. He mentioned it. And people like Laken Riley. I'll be thinking about her tomorrow all day. 22 years old, killed in Georgia, a young nursing student by an illegal. I'll be thinking about Jocelyn Nungare, 12 years old, in Texas, murdered by 2 Venezuelan illegals. President Trump closed the border. Kamala Harris opened it by choice. It wasn't accidental. She said it would be humane. That's what she and her boss believed. Tell it to Laken Riley's family. There was nothing humane about it. He closed it. They opened it. It was an intentional choice, and there's no reason not to believe they won't do it again. The boys should not be in the girls' sports. The boys should not be in the girls' bathrooms. The boys should not be in the girls' locker rooms. Peyton McNabb, North Carolina sophomore in high school, slammed so hard in the face by a volleyball hit at her by a boy pretending to be a girl. She suffered traumatic brain injury and permanent paralysis. Kamala Harris looks at her and says, be kind, suck it up. And that's what's right. Why do our girls have to face brain damage in order to be kind to boys who want to invade their sports? And by the way, they are going into the women's prisons. She changed the law in California to make sure the taxpayers would pay for their sex change operations. She was not just following the law, she changed the law. President Trump will stop it. He got mocked by the left for saying he would be a protector of women. He will be a protector of women, and it's why I'm voting for him. He will close the border. He will keep the boys out of girls' sports, and where they don't belong. And you know what else? One more thing. He will look out for our boys too, our forgotten boys and our forgotten men. Guys like you, guys like these guys who've got the calluses on their hands, who work for a living with the beards and the tats, who maybe have a beer after work and don't want to be judged by people like Oprah and Beyonce, who will never have to face the consequences of her disastrous economic policies. These guys will. He gets it. President Trump gets it. He will not look at our boys like they're second-class citizens. And ladies out there who want a bit of girl power in this election, let me tell you something. How can you win when the sons and the husbands and the brothers and the dads you love are losing? It's not a win. We care, young women and older, about the lives of our children, the safety of our children. And we need not get so obsessed with what happens when they're in the womb that we forget about taking care of them once we're here and they're loved. Last point, what I don't want, what I don't think you want, is the left's version of masculinity. You see that ad they did about Trump voters trying to encourage women to lie to their husbands so that they could vote for her instead of Trump? That's their version of what marriage looks like. An overbearing husband who bullies his wife into saying she voted one way as opposed to an honest, open relationship. Oh, wait, I'm talking about Kamala and Doug. Okay, sorry. Where was that story in the news? Where is that story? I don't remember a single media person, not one, who sat with him, asked him about the abuse allegations against him by a successful professional attorney who has great details, who has receipts, who has witnesses. No one even asked about it. I'm not into their version of toxic masculinity or new masculinity. I prefer the old version. Them, all of you, and I prefer a president who understands how to be strong and how to fight. I hope all of you do what I did last week. Vote Trump and get 10 friends to vote Trump too.
Thoughts, sir?
All right. So, yeah, she was one of those people that hated Trump and brings up lots of questions. Obviously, she sat there and went through all the talking points that we all kind of already know, you know, the things that we don't like about them, the things that we like about Trump. But really, the bigger issue is, yeah, why the change? Was she kind of a controlled opposition for a long time? Did she get a talking to and, you know, kind of a come to Jesus meeting and saw the light? You know, really don't know. And we probably won't know exactly what happens in a lot of these things. But I do think that it's going to, I think that there's going to be a lot of surprises. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be surprised about a lot of things over the course of the next year or two as all of the Diddy kind of Epstein Island kind of stuff comes out. I know that they tried to put out some videos, you know, the day before about Trump and Epstein. I don't think we really touched on that much, but really that was the best shot they had, and they didn't have anything very serious. It was just accusations of one person about another person with absolutely no evidence provided to it, and he was the guy that was in jail that wouldn't have been in jail if it wasn't for Trump. But I have some weird conspiracy theories about all that Epstein turned state's evidence and that they're going to roll him out or cart him out at the appropriate time moving forward in the future. So we're really going to see what happens. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this whole thing play out. Looks like, okay, we're going to start. Harris has 29. Looks
27.
like or 27, Maryland, is that Delaware possibly? I don't know. No, I can't see that. I mean, some of the usual states that
Yeah.
not going to be surprised about a lot of these things. What we really need to find out about is Pennsylvania. Looks like North Carolina's going for Trump. We'll see. Yeah, Harris is at 27, Trump's at 99 electoral votes right now. Looks like there's about a 2 million vote delta between the two of them. Senate at this hour, Republicans have still picked up one seat. They're sitting at 42, and the Democrats are sitting at 31. 27 still are not called. The House is 22 Democrats, 44 Republican, 369 seats that are not called as of now. So looks like it is way too early.
Yeah, it is way too early.
Let's see, Florida, South Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama, not Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, and Oklahoma. Yeah, I don't think did we mention Oklahoma?
We did.
Okay, looks like they're calling for Oklahoma at this point.
Yep, you ready?
Yes, ma'am. All right, just moving along.
Can you go ahead and read that?
Yes, RFK Jr. says, there's a lot worse things than dying. And one of those things is living like a slave.
Ready?
Yes.
Will, last question.
Hey, Mr. Kennedy, I think you're going to win, and I'm a boomer. You are going after some of the largest entities that exist: big pharma, big agri, big government, the CIA, the FBI. Do you think that means that we elect you, right? Are you going to live? Are they going to come after you?
Well, that's not something, Will, that I worry about. I think there are, I'm not stupid about it. So I have, the government, the White House has denied me Secret Service protection. But I do take precautions, and I have a very good security firm, Gavin DeBecker Associates, that is doing my security right now. So I'm not stupid about it, but it's not something that preoccupies me. I was raised in a family where we were taught that number one, there's a lot worse things than dying. And one of those things is living like a slave or having our children lose all the freedoms that so many generations of Americans died to give us and to protect during the Revolutionary War. There was a whole generation of Americans that put their lives on the line, their fortunes, their property, their salaries, their reputations, their contacts on a line to purchase us these freedoms. And many of them died. During the Civil War, 659,000 Americans died to keep these freedoms. And we have to be willing, our generation, to make sacrifices to make sure that we don't lose them, and we've seen attacks, unprecedented attacks on our freedom of speech, on our freedom of worship, on all of the amendments of the Constitution over the past 3 years. They're unprecedented. And it's important for everybody to stand up and say, we're not going to do this. We're going to, even if there's some risks involved, reputational risks, salary risks, we need to make sacrifices for our country.
Thoughts?
That's really the difference between what separates the wheat and the chaff in terms of our love for our nation, because we understand that there are things much worse than dying, and living as a slave is certainly one of them. Nobody should have to live like that, and certainly not in this nation. That's not the way things are supposed to work around here. But that's the way some of those who are in power seem to think that we should all be living, that we're living for their pleasure and their enjoyment to make their lives better. And that's not how that's supposed to be. Even though it's been like that for so long, we've been wage slaves. We have, not been able to do the things that we're supposed to be able to do because they corrupted this nation so long ago, going back at least to Jekyll Island. And those things, I pray, are about to change. And I think that they are going to change. But I think another fellow Massachusettsman truly said it best, and that would have been Samuel Adams. And his quote was, "If ye love wealth better than liberty, the tranquility of servitude than the animated contest of freedom, go home from us in peace. We ask not your counsels or arms, Crouch down and lick the hands which feed you. May your chains sit lightly upon you, and may posterity forget that you were ever our countrymen. See, the thing is that's the toxic masculinity that they can't stand, because we recognize that it's better to die on your feet than live on your knees. And I don't want to be the one to tell the story. What did you do when the country got taken over by, those who have been trying to steal it for so long? Oh, I just sat around so that way I could live. Nobody wants to tell that story. And so, yes, and it's just the mere threat that Americans are willing to use their rights to keep the rights that we have, and not only that, but to get the rights back that we have lost. That is their greatest fear. And the thing is that fear has always been there, and that's why the Second Amendment was put into place. It was never about hunting critters so that way we had food, even though that was an added benefit. The real benefit is that we can't sit there and accept tyranny, because that's just not living. Exactly. Mike says, the more you make, the more they take. Yeah, that shouldn't be. Jenny says, can you share that in the Telegram chat? Yes, ma'am, I shall. Okay. Yeah. And then Chachi says, that's like Elon telling Disney to F off. That was epic. I forgot about that one. Aaron says, amen to that, Santino. Please show that statement again. It's too glorious and beautiful to only show once. Yes. Okay, do you have anything here?
I have videos, yeah, but go ahead and.
Okay. I copied it. I'll get that in the Telegram chat.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yep. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Can you read that, please?
Cringy Kamala awkwardly tells couple to go back inside so she can film a door knock. She really is a dumbass.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I want a door knock.
Oh, you want to do a door knock?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Here, I'm gonna.
I had your hat on the Penn State game in front of 111,000 people on this Saturday.
So thank you guys so much. Okay, come on. So thank you all.
Guys, to the right, please.
It is?
First vote.
Yes, yeah.
Tomorrow morning. January.
Thoughts?
Everything that they do is scripted, and they can't even script it right.
I know.
Absolutely zero awareness. No situational awareness as to the fact that the TV crew is running live camera at that point in time. And then to sit there and turn around and say, hey, can we go ahead and set the stage? I mean, basically, that's Kamala Harris in a nutshell. Hey, let's go ahead and fake this a little bit better for the television. That's what it is every time. And it's because she's inept, because they're so comfortable. If she was truly situationally aware of what was going on around her, she would know that, hey, we shouldn't try to tell people that we're faking things, even if it is a door knock. The thing is you're trying to present an image, and we don't want you to present an image other than the actual version of you. And Kamala Harris, we know that you just don't have the intelligence to be in the position where you're at now, let alone to be the president of the United States.
Exactly.
And that really says a lot that you can't do the job of the vice president, because really there's not much of a job for that job. There's not really much to do. There we go, Mike. Mike says Trump wins Arkansas. So, and Kamala wins DC. Oh, hold your shock.
Yeah.
Kamala won DC.
I know.
All right. What do we got here?
So Kamala's at 30, Trump's at 105.
Yep. Kamala's at 30 and Trump is at 105. So let's see. Yeah. Kamala's projected winner in Maryland. Looks like they're going to be going over. Let's see. Florida is obviously projected for Trump. We fully expected that. He did Florida very well in the previous election. And expect him to do just that much better. Little Lunker says, what's everyone think about New York? You know what, Little Lunker? That's a great question. I know that most of the map of New York is going to be red. That's going to be all of upstate. And then to actually break it down by borough in New York City, I'm sure that there's going to be pockets of so many different things. And I don't know if the news is going to be zooming in to each and every borough to let us know what everybody's saying. Jenny says that she thinks New York is going to turn red. And as a New Yorker, I'm going to say that she's probably got a better bead on what's happening in that state than I'm going to have over here in Nevada. I can tell you Nevada is looking like it's going to turn red, but I do believe that there are shenanigans, and they're going to be pulling lots of shenanigans. Let's see. Somebody else brought up Chachi brought up the DC's a foreign territory. Yeah, I can't wait till that information comes out as fact and being presented to the American people as what was really going on in the background, because I really don't like the foreign territory whole concept thing that I'm pretty confident that it has been.
Exactly.
But back to the New York conversation, we know that he has a lot of support in the Bronx. He has a lot of support in the various boroughs that are in there in New York. It should be interesting to see what happens. Mike says Trump may win New York, but they will never let him. I don't know.
I don't know,
because New York might be too big to rig because he gained so many votes. And I think that there's hope in a lot of other places. We'll see what happens. But it would be interesting to see New York turn red. And my God, I don't know since Reagan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Reagan was the last time. Carol says they don't control the voting machines this time. I think they control some of the voting machines. I just don't think that they have the control that they had.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of traps out there. I really do think that there's a lot of traps that they're waiting for these corrupt people to set. So that way, once the machine, the wheels of justice start spinning again the way they should, I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of people wrapped up in a lot of things. And it's going to be shocking, even to a lot of the people who have been awakened to the things that are going on. I truly believe that there's going to be a lot of things that are going to surprise everybody.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
You want to go ahead and read that, please?
Riley Gaines posts a message to men. Excludes beta Keith Olbermann.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right, this is a message to all the men. So if you're not a man, just keep scrolling. All right, now that Keith Olbermann is gone, men, what are you doing? All right, I'll give you a football analogy. It's the final quarter, and it's time we run a mean pick six. Oh, sorry, that was a Tim Walz football analogy. But for real men, Donald Trump took a bullet for you. The least you could do is vote for the man. Vote like your country was taken from you, because it was. We need you men to go out and vote to make America affordable again, to make America safe again, to make America healthy again, to make America great again. They can call you a Nazi, they can call you deplorable, they can call you garbage, but don't give them the pleasure of calling you the beta man who didn't get out and vote. And if this video somehow does reach Keith Olbermann,
you're a beta either way. And are you still crying urine?
Thoughts?
All right. You know what? Yeah. Vote like you got a pair. Exactly, Chachi. To not vote is a ridiculous thing. Whatever. But here's one of the things that really people should keep in mind. We've been letting these soy boys and feminazis do their thing for so long, to the point where they've made it so that way men can't even get a job. You know, you have to be at the very least a soy boy, but if nothing else, probably a flag waving LGBTQ LMNOP plus kind of person.
Yeah.
The thing is we're getting pushed out, and so when we don't vote, what we're really voting for is to be cucked, which is what they've been trying to do. And so that is yet another reason why we need to get out there and vote for what we know is right. We know that the things that we see, that, male boxers pretending they're females in the Olympics, isn't the way things should be. Males pretending that they're females so that way they can finally win at any sport. These are not the things that we should be doing.
Exactly.
These are not the things we should be allowing. And if we don't vote, not only are we allowing that, we're encouraging it.
Exactly.
We shall see.
We shall see. You ready?
Yeah.
Commitment to Christ is learned. Just so that, like, you're going to have to develop this. Give yourself grace. Oh, but you have the cloud of condemnation over you. So every time you mess up, there's no grace for that. You know how we know? It's because of how you judge other people when they mess up. The most judgmental people, that is a mirror of how they actually feel about themselves. I can't believe that these celebrities, and if I was, you'll never be. That's why you behind the screen commenting on what everybody else is doing and have done nothing great enough to even be commented on. Your family don't even text you about your stuff. Let me stop. What I'm saying to you is, because of the spirit of condemnation, you would rather be judgmental and critical. We need to do that one, cuff to critical. You rather be critical of people and not celebrate them, but it's honestly the mirror that you're reflecting on others that you actually believe about yourself. And so when you started your Bible reading plan and you made it 6 days on a streak and missed the 7th one, you stopped the whole plan. You ain't even gone back to the plan because you were more committed to the streak than the scriptures. You wanted to be perfect in your performance instead of actually get the power of the scriptures. Oh my God. And so what ends up happening so many times is because we won't give ourselves grace to mess up and start again and to try. And you know what? That didn't really work out. Tried this business and work. We won't give ourselves the grace. Then we judge other people with that same spirit. And all God is saying is commitment is learned.
Thoughts, sir?
Commitment is learned. Very much so. So many times we get used to life being so easy, and then, things get in the way, and then we end up quitting. And that's one of the problems that really happens is people get started and they have the best intentions, and then they forget about it. And then they see that they're behind. And so they figured they just kind of silently bow out. That's the problem, is we gave up too easy and we bowed out silently. No, perseverance.
Yes.
Sometimes catching up. I know that we've fallen behind on our studies, but
you catch up.
But we've always caught up. And that's the thing that's important, is that we catch up. Got to do that.
You must.
You must.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Before we move on, we're going to go ahead and listen to Sky News for a little bit.
All righty.
You ready?
Yep.
True. And President Obama has done this a number of times. I mean, even with the Arab and Muslim vote in Michigan, he made a statement like, you're going to vote for a man who imposed the Muslim ban. Is that what you want to do? When there was concern that the uncommitted or those who were worried about how the Biden-Harris administration has prosecuted the war in the Middle East.
Yeah, and I put the issue of whether, plenty of people believe that Donald Trump is racist. He certainly has dog whistled to white supremacists over the years. And
here we go.
Lorenzo Sewell in his church. And he said, look, I don't think he's racist. Yes, I think he's coarse at times. I think he probably does try and dog whistle to different communities at times. But ultimately, he said, I'm not voting for a pastor.
That community.
I'm voting for a leader. And I think that sentiment is quite widespread. People don't particularly like Trump the man, but they are appealed by Trump the leader.
It does call the question of how effective these surrogates are. We've seen in this last cycle how surrogates have often gotten each of the candidates in trouble on both sides. At the rally in Madison Square Garden, the comedian who talked about Puerto Rico, for instance, being an island full of garbage. And then you had Mark Cuban making statements about women or smart women not wanting. So how effective really are these surrogates?
Sometimes it's not just the surrogates, it's the
It's the
current
candidates.
president.
We have a guest. We have a guest.
We
have
do.
a guest. We can speak to Catherine Whiteford, co-chair of the Young Republican National Federation, who is in North Carolina, I think. Yes, Concord, North Carolina. Well, that is a key swing state. What do you think will happen there?
Yeah, so early reporting has already been coming in, and so far it's looking.
Oh, okay. You are going to mute that. All right. And then we mute it just in time for them to get rid of the ticker, which tells us what's going on. All right. Polls close in 15 minutes in Arizona. Oh, my God. They go so fast. All right. Hold on. Let me make this bigger. North Dakota, Nebraska, New Mexico, Wisconsin, Wyoming. There was a lot more there, but it went super duper fast. Let's see. Okay. Arizona, Colorado, Iowa, Kansas, Louisiana, Michigan, Minnesota. North Dakota, Nebraska, New Mexico, New York, South Dakota, and Texas, as well as Wisconsin and Wyoming. So a lot of polls are going to be closing here in the next 15 minutes, and we should start getting a lot more information about coming out, or a lot more information start to come out about the health of the races in the various states. But again, all of us, we really know that they're going to be, trying some kind of shenanigans, that they've got something up their sleeve. We know it because the only thing that we can trust about that party at this point in time is that they're going to do wrong. If they have a choice to choose between right and wrong, they're going to choose wrong every single time, unless the one time doing the right thing actually benefits them the most.
Yeah.
Which I don't see that happening very often.
They're not very good at
What, faking it?
Yeah.
That they care? Yeah, they're not even good
Yeah.
at faking it anymore. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So Fox has a different number.
Okay, Fox has different numbers. Right now, Sky News has 30 and 100 is what it looks like. Fox has 101 and 71. But we know Fox is real quick to call a lot of states before. Fox has been really bad about having to change some of their predictions on more than one occasion. But they seem to be fairly slow about it. Being a little bit more conservative about the way they're saying things. Let's see, 7 battleground states: Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, North Carolina, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. And those are going to be the real big ones. A lot of people are expecting Arizona to go for Trump without a doubt. A lot of people are expecting, a lot of the predictions that is, are that Trump's going to take Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, probably Nevada, and possibly Pennsylvania. And if he starts snatching up, that many of the battleground states, big win. And we really do expect this to be a big win if we were to get the actual numbers. But we know that, again, we just can't trust them. And so we'll see how it plays out. But right now, so far, everything looks good, but it always looks good until the middle of the night when all the water mains break and cardboard starts going up over the windows where they're doing the counting.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, let's
this
hope that doesn't
time.
happen. Yeah.
That would, I'm praying that doesn't happen.
I pray it doesn't happen either. But, again, not going to be surprised. I'm not holding my breath because I look funny blue.
Exactly. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
If God is shaking your...
All right, we're almost there.
If God is shaking your nest, it means he's preparing you to fly.
All right, dear.
All right, so we're going to be closing it just a little bit early tonight because a lot of people are going to really be wanting to see and channel surf and find out what's going on. Everybody's capable of doing that. But I think that this one's very appropriate for what we have going on tonight. America's nest is getting shaken. And that means that we really don't have a whole lot of choices right now. We got to get ready to fly. America is going to fly. America, without a doubt, is going to go for Trump this time. Even the people on the left believe that. They believe that Trump is going to win. 1 second. Excuse me. All right, there we go. Got congestion tonight. Thank you for your patience. Anyways, so our nest is getting shaken. But the thing is we've gotten comfortable. We've gotten comfortable, and we need to go ahead and stretch our wings. And once Trump gets back into office, he's going to unleash the American people, and we're going to soar again. So many things are going to change. I have so much hope. I have so much confidence and faith in the American people that once President Trump gets back into office, that so many things are going to be so much better than they were the previous 4 years, because the truth is coming out. The truth has been coming out the last 4 years that he hasn't been in office because of the things that he did when he was in office before. We're going to see all of those things come to fruition. And once all these people who have been using corruption to enrich themselves and to keep the average American person down, once they are finally have the chains taken off of them that has been put on them, unwittingly through their corruption, the American people will find themselves again, and we will all do what it is that makes America great. And that is that we are competitive, and that we do want to win, and that we do want to have a fair go in the marketplace, in sports, in everything. And once America is able to have that fair playing ground, the equal opportunity instead of this equal outcome crap that they've been selling us, America will soar. America will be a world power the way it's always supposed to been, the way it's always supposed to have been. And we forgot that. But the thing is we're not going to be focused on trying to be the global policeman anymore. We're going to be focused on showing everybody the example with which they should be following. And that is truly going to be a blessing.
Amen. Amen.
Seasoning.
Nope, that was perfect.
All right, fantastic. Anyways, everybody, thank you all for joining us. We'll certainly be back tomorrow night. Same dat time, same dat channel. That's on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, and pill.net.
And if you haven't already, please take a minute and give us that virtual hug. If you're over on YouTube or Rumble, hit that thumbs up. If you're over on pill.net, take that red pill. If you're over on X, smash that heart. And if you're on Facebook, you have like 7 choices.
Clickety, clickety.
It's going to be a long night, guys.
It's going to be a long night. Y'all make sure you get some rest, because they're not going to be giving us the results tonight. And if they do, I'm sure it'll change many, many times. Yeah. Anyways, Aaron gave us a Rumble rant there. Where we go one, where we go all. The nest might be shaken, but with God, we can soar, even with 3 broken wings. Amen. Amen. All right, everybody. We love you all. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night. Be safe. And God bless each and every one of you. And God bless America.